Hi, this is Mr. B. I wanted to go over this sheet right here with you. This is our homework sheet, just in case you needed a little bit of extra help here, and I want to go over some of the more difficult problems. And I think number one is kind of tricky right here. So when we're writing ratios, that's all this is asking us to do, is to write a ratio. And when we write a ratio, we are just putting two numbers together. We're comparing two numbers. The only difficult part is we kind of sometimes need to look for these numbers. For example, in the first one here, it says we want to write a ratio that compares the number of games played to the number of wins. So we need to find these numbers. Now here's what I would suggest we do when we're reading this on a test or just any time we're looking for a ratio, is to underline what we need. We need games played, then circle the word 2, because that will indicate that 2 is the ratio word. That will indicate that we need a ratio here. And let's go ahead and underline the other one, number of wins right here. These are the two things we need. I need to find out how many games they played. I need to find how many wins they had, and I want to put it in this order in my ratio. So let's go find our information. Games played, of course, here's our information up here, and it's pretty simple. Games played is 15, so I know this is 15, and the number of wins is 3, so I already have my ratio set up for me, and I would just need to write it out here. So 15 to 3, and then simplify it too. We always want to simplify our ratios. Now that is a ratio of games played to number of wins, but we want to simplify it. So we simplify it down 5 to 1. All right, so that's our first one right there. The second one here, and I'm not going to give you the answer or anything. I'm just going to walk you through some of this. Do the same thing. Underline the numbers that we need to find. We need to find this number. There's our word 2 right here. And we need to find the number of games, and then we're over here. Keep reading. Lost. So we need to do the win to lost games ratio. So we may have to do a little math there because it does not tell us how many they lost. So we're going to have to think that through a little bit. If I know how many they played and I know how many they won, I should be able to figure out how many they lost. And then we're going to use those numbers in our ratio. Okay, let's keep going here and take a look at anything else. We're writing 3 different ratios, and it says here, do not write 3 equivalent ratios. So when we're looking at the cats and the dogs here, the dogs are spotted. So if it's hard to tell on the sheet, these are the dogs here, and the cats are up here. So just write 3 different ratios. It could be cats to dogs, it could be dogs to cats, it could be cats to total animals, or dogs to total animals, or total animals to dogs. So there's a lot of different ways we can assemble this information to write ratios. And once again, we have our bar graph. We're gathering information from this bar graph to answer number 3 and to fill in the blanks. All of this is together for the bar graph. We'll simply read each one of these. The ratio of birds to cats is 2 to 1. Is that true or not? Look at the number of birds. Look at the number of cats. What is the ratio of birds to cats? Is it 2 to 1? And so if it's true, you put an X. If it's false, leave it alone. And here, the filling in the blanks, it gives us a ratio here. It says we're supposed to create the ratio. What is the ratio that is 3 to 1? Somewhere in here, there's a ratio of 3 to 1. We have to figure that out. Is it cats to fish, birds to cats? What is it? So we'll have to kind of like play with the numbers and figure out what ratio is 3 to 1. We have pyramids here and prisms. Pyramids come to a point, so these 2 right here are pyramids, and then these 4 are prisms, and we're just writing some ratios. This time, write the same ratio. It's pyramids to prisms. You're just going to write it 3 different ways, with the ratio bar, with the colon, and with the word 2. So that's all that's asking us to do here. And number 4, it asks us for a ratio, and we want the ratio of dogs who weigh under 20 pounds and dogs that are 20 and over. Okay, here's the word 2. That's our ratio word right there. It's this to that. So we'll have to use this line plot here to count how many dogs weigh under 20 and how are 20 and over. All right, number 5, I think I'm gonna go over number 5 and then just kind of stop here. And well, I guess I'll mention some of these. But anyway, let's take a look at this. There are 2 questions here. What is the ratio of the area, and what is the ratio of the perimeter, of the smaller shape to the larger shape? Just remember this. Area is flat space. flat space. So if you're looking at the area of this small shape, all of this flat space, that's the area. Okay, and we're comparing this flat space to how much this flat space is. What is the ratio of this to this? Okay. If you're not sure, just make up a number. Make up a number for this area. 5. What are 5 square inches or whatever? And then this would be 5, and then this would be 5, and then this would be 5. So you can use numbers to figure out that ratio if you need to. Okay, perimeter is the same way. Perimeter, though, you're going to count perimeter. 1, 2, 3. Just count the perimeter around this object. Count the perimeter all the way around this object. Okay. Is this inside line, is that part of the perimeter on the outside? No, it's not. You're just counting the lines all the way around. Compare those two in a ratio and write that out. For these at the end here, you're just making ratio statements. So 5 to 3, what does it mean for a ratio to be 5 to 3? We always use this type of language. You'll always see for every, there are this, for every that, or there are for every 5 of these, there are 3 of these. So we just want to make sure we're matching up the words. Which 5 or 3? Which number belongs to the men? 5 or the 3? Which number belongs to the women police officers? 5 or 3? So they're always in the same order. 5 men to 3 women. So somehow we're looking for every 5 men police officers, there's 3 women police officers. Or you could say it the other way around. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that and let you go. Thank you. After I